Hi, I'm Josh, your English learning guide, and this is English Hacks. So, for the homework, we had 2 recordings, which were both the same sound. And this is, of course, the I sound, so every single vowel is the I sound. I can't really help you too much with this, but I can give you some pointers, and we'll just go through these really quick just to make sure. So, mix. Do not say meeks or mex. That's the next vowel sound. This is me. Okay, mix. Big. Not big, not beg. Big. Okay. Pick. Not peak or peck. Pick. Lit. Not leet. Not let, lit, le. One thing to keep in mind, as we'll see also with the S, anytime you have a consonant that is sort of up around the top of the mouth here, and you have to release that into a vowel, especially the E or I vowel, which are already very close to the top, it's very easy to go too far when you release the consonant sound. So be careful when we say le, you don't want to drop all the way to le or la. Okay, keep it controlled tight. Le. Make sure it's not li. We want to go a little lower than that. Le. Okay, same thing here. Se, sit. Okay, we don't want to say seat or set. It's sit, se. Okay, bit. Same as big, but with a T at the end. Not beat or bet, bit. Okay, this is just it. Nothing before it, easy. It. Not eat, not et, it. Lastly, we have lick, leak, leck, lick, right in the middle. And lip, leap, lep, lip. That's the proper sound, right in the middle. As I said, with the listening, you might need to work with a teacher or at least some native speaker who can help give you feedback on how you're pronouncing these things and making sure you are hearing them correctly. So that can take some time, don't worry, especially for this sound, which you probably don't have in your language. If it takes time, it takes time. That's fine. Just relax, accept it, and keep practicing. It's perfectly normal. Now we have the listening dictation homework. And in this recording, it is pretty slow, but I didn't clearly enunciate everything. I spoke pretty clearly, but not completely clearly. And that's just to give you a little extra test, right, to really see if you could get this. So first, we want to make sure all the words are correct, right? And I drew this arrow because I ran out of space. So this is all one sentence. Last week, comma, very important, comma. I was walking when I saw an old man. Okay. These are the words. Now, if you didn't get that, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. There are some reasons why you might not have gotten this. The reason we put the comma here, by the way, very important, is because, well, number one, written punctuation is generally just a reflection of the spoken language and the intonation. So commas have a particular intonation. Okay, very important to know. We'll learn more about that later in the course, but when we're taking a word or part of a sentence and we break the normal placement, right? We take this piece, normally it would be, I was walking last week when I saw an old man. Or maybe I was walking when I saw an old man last week. But here we can put it in the front, but because we're breaking the normal placement, we're actually going to put a comma to show that. Okay, that's a very common use of the comma. let's just quickly go through this. There's a lot of things that we haven't learned, we haven't really talked about, so we're not going to look at every little detail here of what's happening, but I will give you some important tips that may help you understand why you didn't understand the sentence or some of the words. So here, whenever we have an ST at the end of a word, what will usually happen, it's not required, but what will usually happen is the T will disappear. It will just disappear. So instead of last, we say las, las. And that S will connect over to this W. Sw, sw, last week, last week. Okay. We have this intonation, rising intonation from the comma. Again, don't worry too much about that right now. But instead of saying last week I, it's last week I, last week I. Okay, and there's some variation. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but it goes up. And that's not just the stress of the word, that's the intonation. We'll learn more about that when we talk about stress later in the course. Weak and I will go ahead and connect. Weak I, weak I. Even with the comma, we can connect through the comma. So if you heard kai, or maybe even you got sky, last week I, sky, sweek I. Maybe all that just combined, you heard the S, the K, and the I. That's probably why. Okay, I was walking. Okay, notice this is a Z sound. Was. Common mistake. It's spelled with an S. It's a Z. Was. Same thing with is. It's a Z sound. Okay. Was walking. Was walking. The L here is silent. Okay. This spelling pattern AL, especially followed by a K, usually that L is silent. Okay. We're going to learn more about that when we talk about the fifth vowel sound in the back. Ah. So it's not walking, it's walking, walking, okay? This is pronounced een. So here we have that first vowel sound, E, okay? And there's no G there, it's just a regular N, okay? When we add ing to verbs, we just add a regular N sound. Then we have when I, connection, when I. So you'll hear nigh, when I, okay? I sawin. Okay, there's a couple things that can happen here. This is supposed to be an. This vowel here is the fourth vowel sound, which we have not seen. E, a, all the way in the front bottom. Looks like this, if I can write it correctly. Something kind of like that on the vowel chart. So we're going to learn that later. The reason I'm mentioning this now is because this will often reduce, don't worry about reductions too much right now, but it will often reduce to E, the vowel sound we have here, E, second vowel. So it will sound like the preposition in, sawin. Okay, this W is silent, just like AL, okay, this is another common way to spell ah. So it's not sawin or sawan. Silent W. So AW, that W is just spelling. So we have sawin. So it's like sawin, not sawin. And this can actually completely disappear and we'll actually get like sawn. It looks like san. So I want that silent W as a native speaker because this looks like ah to me. Son. The N and the O here, no. It's going to sound like no. But then we have this L. The D on old is not required. And we very often drop it. It's a special case. You'll sometimes see it written like this. Ol with an apostrophe. Okay, so we get like no, sonol, and then man. Okay, so this part right here, sonol. This is probably the toughest, most difficult part to get You might have also had problems here at the beginning. Those are some of the things to note. Again, you don't have to memorize this. We're going to learn more about all this later. This is just to help you in case there were certain spots where you had difficulty understanding what was going on. This analysis will help to open your ears, expose you to certain rules and concepts, which we will then see later, and you'll naturally start to absorb many of these things that happen in English. Okay, so if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below as usual. Thank you very much for watching another English Hacks video. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the little bell notification so that you never miss another English Hacks video, and I'll see you guys next time.